Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny. I am the Happy Crafty Homemaker, and welcome to Show and Tell, I believe 82. I didn't double check before I started filming. Um, so I would like to start off this video by thanking so many of you for emailing me and leaving comments of concern that somebody would call me a liar. My Mary Maxim knit video went up Tuesday, and in there I discussed I pay for all of the products I review here on the channel. Nobody has ever sent me a product to review, nor have I ever been paid for a review. And a number of you guys responded in shock and curiosity as to why somebody would think that, and in defense of me and my channel, which was fantastic. I think a lot of it really does just stem from, you see huge mega channels, and particularly in the makeup industry or lifestyle industry, some in the gaming industry, where you see all of these huge product launch events, PR unboxings, free product for review. You'll see notices and notifications at the bottom of the screen that says that this is a paid for review, or this has been sponsored by the company. Our community is significantly smaller. The revenue generated and the profit margins for most of the yarn companies is nowhere near what you see in makeup and lifestyle products in particular. So you don't see a whole lot of paid for and sponsored posts. You don't see a whole lot of paid for content. You don't see PR unboxings that often in our community, unless of course a designer is working with a yarn company to create designs for that company. The company frequently will send yarn, for the designer to work with. I've actually got a friend who used to do paid for designs on the regular, and she would get yarn right as it was being produced, so before it hit the market but after production. And she would create design, so when the new yarn launched, the patterns would already be available online, or they would have printouts that were available that would come with the product. That does happen. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful relationship that you can build with a yarn company if you enjoy using their products. Designing for them, if you're a designer, is a fantastic way to have your foot in the door, to know what's coming down the path here, and getting product so you can work on designs and things like that. It's a wonderful relationship. But those are the minority of relationships with yarn companies. Most yarn companies do not have the marketing budget, which is where a lot of these free products come from, is the marketing budget. The industry is so much smaller than lifestyle and makeup in particular, that they just don't have the budget to give that kind of product away for free. That's wonderful. I think that's fantastic. It suits me just fine. Like I said, I would rather purchase the product myself and review it. So at no point in time do I even feel encouraged to pad a review. I have given negative product reviews. With that being said, I don't generally delete comments on my channel. I leave negative and positive up there. I don't normally delete things off my channel. I will, however, delete you if you're just outright vicious, mean, cruel to me, to another content creator. If you harass me or commenters on my channel, it is my job as the content creator of this channel to protect my subscribers from harassment and bullying on my feed. And I will delete you in a New York minute if you are being nasty. Now, disagreeing is perfectly fine. I've done reviews of products that I hated that other people loved, and I have left those comments up there because I think that's exceptionally important if we're having an open conversation in product review, that you see my opinion's not the only one. I love the back and forth, and I have admitted, I had a bad experience with this yarn. I'm only using 3 balls of it at a time. If you've used 6 different colorways and had, one be bad, but the other 5 be great, that's wonderful. I've had that happen in the process of review where I had one bad, the Karen Pantone yarn that I reviewed 18 months ago. My first hank of that was horrible. I thought I was going to hate the product, but in the end, I actually really loved the product. That's the problem with having a selective review process. When you actually work through the product, sometimes you just get a bad ball. Sometimes you get a bad product, and you have to keep that in mind as you're moving on. So if you just disagree with me, your comment's safe. You're fine. But if you start attacking people at a personal level, if you start being cruel, vindictive, harassing, name calling, foul language, I will delete you in a heartbeat. I don't allow bullying on my channel, and I will not allow you to be bullied if you are commenting on my channel. If you are bullying people, I've only blocked 2 people in 2 years. But I have deleted certain comments that are not constructive and meant to be hurtful. And some of those have come from the review series specifically. I have outright been called a liar. I have been told that I am selling out for money. I don't know how you can sell out for losing your money on products, but that's fine. And also, if somebody is being paid for a review, one of the quickest ways to know this is to check the description box. You're supposed to, by law, denote any paid for content. You don't necessarily have to say you got a product free for review, but if you're being paid for your review or paid for your content promoting a product, you are supposed to have that somewhere in the description box, the title, or disclosed within the video. And same thing for Instagram. It is supposed to be disclosed if it is a paid for thing. And I think with Instagram and Facebook, you have to announce that you got the product for free to review, not just that if it's a paid for. But I think on YouTube it's just paid for. But I could be wrong. I'm not a lawyer. I could be wrong on that. So that is actually kind of an easy way to know if somebody is being paid for a review, because if they're not telling you that, they can get in a lot of trouble with that. And so can the company that is sending them product. So, but yeah, I understand all this. I know all of this, and I understand where that disconnect can exist, because you do see a lot of channels. If you're outside of our community a lot watching content, you do see a lot of channels who get free product or are paid for content. I'm just not one of those people. I'm very, very small, and our community has very, very small marketing budgets, and that's okay. 100% okay. But you guys were pretty fantastic when you found out, and when I said something about it in my last video, so I just kind of wanted to clear the air. I'm not hurt by it. It is what it is. It's nothing to worry about. It is a little off-putting, but it is what it is. So, what do you guys really come here to watch? You want to know what I worked on, right? So, you will notice over my shoulder, there has been a change to the shelf. That is because I took 4 balls of mandala and genie out of the shelf. And that left me room to turn everything on its side except for my warlock here. So now you can see, oh, the pretty colors. What did I do with those 4 balls? Well, now I have not decided if I'm going to put the pockets on this or not. I kind of like it without, but I did make the pockets. But this is Pamela's pocket shawl once again. And this is holding 2 balls of genie, Lime Brand mandala and genie together. I have blocked it, but I have not trimmed my ends yet. I did do my border down here, so if I decide to put the pocket on, it'll have a platform to sit on instead of since I don't do the fringe thing. Love how this turned out. I love how the heathering worked with this one in particular. I have mentioned time and time again, my favorite neutral is gray. Gray goes well with everything. So I am very happy with how this turned out. It's much more springish than my green and taupe one here. Fantastic. I will have to, if I decide to put the pockets on this, I will have to block the pockets because I've already blocked the shawl. But that's okay. That's okay. How pretty. Seriously, how pretty. I love it when a project just happens to work out. So I spent a lot of time on Friday and Saturday working on this. That was kind of what I did every time I sat down, was I picked that up. It's the base shawl is just so brilliantly simple and easy to memorize. Once you get going, you just don't want to stop because you're that much closer. You see the progress very, very quickly as you're working on it, and it makes you pretty excited to keep working on it. So my other finished object, I don't know the name, so I actually have my notebook, is the Spring Shower Shawl Cowl. And it was published in 2018, I believe. And I had 2 partial balls of the Genie left over when I finished. So it took, I can actually tell you, 427 grams, and they're 150 gram balls. So you get your calculator and figure that out. But I did have these 2 partial cakes left over at the end, and I decided, why not make another shawl? So this is following the pattern exactly until the last 2 rows. This should have had another row of double crochet in the loop, so it looked like this. And I didn't have enough yarn to do that. And, well, I had enough yarn, but it was going to change color. I did not really color control this except for one spot where I jumped from the white to the charcoal. I did come in and add that back in, and apparently I forgot to weave that in. And my final in before I blocked it, so we'll have to do that. But I did color control this join right here, but where everything else hit, it just happened to hit either in the middle of one of these, like the chains to support the loops, or it hit, 2 stitches in, or the color change is so subtle. Like this is actually, yeah, this part is actually 2 different colors, but you can't really see that. This is like a true gray, and then this is like a green gray down here going into the deeper tone. Things like that don't really catch your eye as being different, so I didn't change it. And there's actually there's this super pale green here, and then the mid-tone green, and then the dark green. It doesn't read as a different color there, so I didn't worry about color controlling. But the jump between the dark charcoal and the white was pretty obvious. And I was going to have, this was going to jump to white before I could finish the bottom row. So I did a row of single crochets following the stitch pattern for the next to the last row, and then just skipped the final row altogether. So I did make some changes just because of yarn. But how pretty is that? I mean, I really love the way this turned out. And I love the filet mesh with the scallops. I just think that turned out so pretty. And I love the triple eyelets there. And this took like 5 seconds to block. I used my lace blocking wires to line up the top. And then I just pulled the point down and laid it out in this pattern. So it's using the DK weight, but with an eye hook. And when I just swooshed my hands out to make sure all the loops were laying flat, I went from the top center and went in a V pattern, steaming it down, and just kind of softly made sure everything was smooth. And when I steamed it, it just laid out perfectly with minimal pinning. It was fantastic. But it's because it's so lacy, even though it's a big shawl, it works great as a bandana shawl. But it is long on this top edge, so you've got more than enough to go over your shoulders, like if you're going out or something and wanted just something to cover your shoulders in the spring. You've got nice coverage there in the length. So I'm pretty happy with this. If I end up with another single ball like that again, I've got to keep this pattern in mind for working on it, because that turned out great. I started this on the 27th and finished it on the 28th. We watched movies on Sunday, so I got a lot done on Sunday. I'm not gonna lie. We spent a lot of time sitting on the sofa on Sunday, so I did get a lot accomplished with that. But I will be keeping this one because I really, really love the colors on this one. I won't be gifting this one. I was thinking originally it might be gifted out, but nope. Nope. So the other finished item I have is the second project or second ball of yarn from my Mary Maxim Crochet Club. And this is the Fair Isle yarn. The pattern, I've got it written down as Twisted Tilly Cowl, but I don't think that's the name of it. Tilly is the yarn that the designer was using to make the cowl. So it might just be Twisted Cowl, but this is the Fair Isle yarn. It was Fair Isle Willow in Pixie. And like I said last week, I love the way the stripes are uneven. Like you've got this huge purple, and then back here you have a huge green. It is incredibly soft. I did twist it for a Mobius. So one of you guys said, please do the Mobius, please do the Mobius. I did twist it for a Mobius, and I'm really glad I did. I only had like 20 yards left over when I finished this, and I decided not to block it because the edge with that natural scallop to the stitch pattern is so beautiful on its own, and I really like the density of it. I mean, if you really want to, I mean, easily you can double it up. It's very, very soft. It's not tight at all when you do that. I went a little over the recommended 25 inches, so I could double it up. I did just a basic quick, how many times can I wrap it and not choke myself? That was a fix it by eyeballing it kind of thing. But yeah, I didn't feel the need to block this. As it gets worn, the weight of it will stretch it a little bit, but I didn't want to open up the stitches too much. That's my seam. You don't need to look at that. But you can see it's got a nice natural texture to the stitch, unblocked. But when you block it, it's also beautiful. Like if you wanted to do something a little bit more open, it kind of reminds me, because the stitches tilt with the way you do them, the way the stitch is done, there's a natural tilt to it. So it kind of reminded me of like Krista from the Secret Yarnery's Drunken Granny pattern that she did. That's kind of what it reminded me of a little bit. But yeah, and I just did like I said, you don't need to really see my seam, but I just did a slip stitch to close it up here. That did pucker just a shade. I mean, I might hit that with like a spray bottle of water and just lay it out flat, but when I seamed it, it did kind of follow in the ripple pattern just a little bit. It's probably better to see it from this side. So it's not an unnatural seam or anything like that. But this yarn, I'm really kind of disappointed it's discontinued because I really like this yarn. It's really, really soft and really warm, but it wasn't sweaty to work with. So I'm really looking forward to wearing this. This one is also going to be mine. This year I've made a lot of projects, surprisingly, that I'm keeping for myself. They're my projects. Things for me. Get that back in my bag so I have everything together for my final review stuff. But yeah, So I'm done with the crochet kit. I have gotten caught up with that. I'm rather pleased with myself. WIPs. So I did make some progress on the hat for my husband. I did hit my 4-inch, so now it's like 8 inches total. So I got another inch done on this. And if you follow me on Instagram, you will have already seen the yarn for this project, but I told you guys, or showed you guys on Instagram. Get my bin out of the way. I have 2 more videos to film, so I've got a lot of stuff in a basket sitting here together. I showed you guys a whole bunch of blues and grays together and said that this was going to be my newest blanket project. So here we go. This is the progress I have made so far. These are all Premier anti-pilling yarns. Well, it might help if I show you the front. So what I'm doing is I have numbered all of my colors, 1 through 8, I believe. And I am randomly choosing a row count 5 through 15, I think is what I've chose for this first group. I did pre-roll a couple. I just used an online number picker and put in, 1 through 8 and then 5 through 15. So these are my first couple colors. Like this is like charcoal. This is something heather. And then this is attached, so I can tell you. Quiet blue. But check out my Instagram handle is down below so you can come and check me out. But like this is a heathered charcoal. And then look at this beautiful blue transition. So everything is going to be completely randomized in this. I did, I had one number color pop up, not side by side, but like it was 737. And I didn't want to have the color repeat that fast. So I am, I'm not micromanaging it, but I am kind of controlling it. And I just lost my hook in here. So that's what I've worked on. I did have one acquisition. We're going to try something in the paper crafting department. And of course, this is the most interesting package. So it's a 4-pack of a tape dispenser. And they literally just taped this together and shipped it to me. Like that. But I'm trying to use my paper craft stuff up. I have been trying to use washi tape, and I'll pull out like 4 or 5 rolls at a time and just have them on my desk, and I keep misplacing them, or they get in my way, or they roll off the desk or something. So I got a couple of these. I have plans for how I want 2021 card making to go. So I really did want more than one. But so it's a little tape dispenser that you can just drop your washi tape into, and you can flip this around. So like right now the big teeth are up here on top, but you can flip it so the little teeth there are on top for your tear line. But the reason why I got these is the way you put the washi tape in, it's just on a pole. And you just thread the pole through the rolls of tape, bada bing, bada boom, and you're done. So I did opt, I got 4 because it was like cheaper to get 4 than 1. But I did opt for this style, and I'm using it right now with the Halloween tapes. They're working out fantastic, but next year I want to kind of not officially join in with the 10 on the 10th card collaboration. I think it's Metal Scrapping Chick or Deb Hauk is hosting that one. But instead of just doing 10 Christmas cards, I would like to do 10 Christmas, 10 Halloween, 10 fall themed or seasonal themed cards. Because I'm running out of time, and I still have a lot I need to do to get to Christmas cards. But if I'm going to do that, I need a place to keep my washi tapes that I'm using for each group together, but still be able to set them apart instead of putting them back in my big washi tape container where I've got to then go find them again and every month pull them back out, work on my 10 cards, put it up. This is just a lot easier. I am going to use, I've got couple ideas of how I'm going to organize the paper, and then I think this will fit in most of them, or will fit on top of it, or I can set it. They stack. They have little feet on the bottom and little divots on the top. So they do stack. So I could, you know, set this like on top of my big washi roll collection, and that way I just have to go grab one, and then when I use up everything in there, I can refill it very simply, very easily with the new washi tape. So that is my big acquisition. I did order some stuff from Stampin' Up! From Made by Marsha Mom, but that's already been incorporated into what I'm working on, so can't really show you that, but I will leave her Stampin' Up! Thing linked down below for you guys. So the next two videos I'm going to film are my yarn bingo update for September. Wait till you see my card. Even though I didn't do some of the stuff I wanted to do. And also my Q3. Because holy cats, you guys, it's October already. We're in Q4 now. Yeah, for the calendar year. Your business might be in another, your fiscal year might be something different, but our calendar year, we have completed 3/4 of 2020 already. So I did sit down and look at my goals for 2020, and I'm going to catch you up on that. So we have Q3 and yarn bingo for September. There are some fantastic projects that'll be listed. As always, my contact information is down below. Don't hesitate to email me, reach out on Instagram. If I don't respond to you in 3 or 4 days, email me again. I'm not ignoring you. I just might miss you. That happens. That happens. And sometimes things don't come through. One of my Happy Mail recipients, I finally got her email today, but she's been trying to email me and I have not gotten her email yet. So until today. But yeah, feel free to contact me. Patterns for my finished objects will be linked down below as always. Thank you guys so much. And once again, thank you for the positive affirmations, comments in my Mary Maxim unboxing. They were very well appreciated, but I'm not really that angry at the people who don't understand either. It's very confusing and a lot of information. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Take care. Love you guys. Well, I'll turn the video off if I can find my clicker.